everybody, welcome back to another episode of Lunch and Learn with Miss Maureen. We are working on our napping animals this week. I did pigs because of my daughter Carrie, who loves pigs. So earlier in this week I showed you how to draw the pigs, but again you can do any animal you want. I showed you how to draw overlapping pillows, and I started to show you how to make some patterns, and I said that I'd show you some new ways to make patterns today. So I told you that going around your house was a great way to find inspiration. This is just a plastic box that I can keep things in. And it's just a simple zigzag, but it's really interesting the way that they kind of did the lines and broke up the color. So I'm going to show you how I use this for inspiration to draw a zigzag. So I think I'll go this, let's go over here. I'm just going to do a nice wide zigzag, and then I'm going to do what's called doubling it up. So I made it one zigzag and I repeated it. I'm going to draw lines from each bend. And you see how it almost looks like it's a piece of ribbon that's kind of bending up and down, and that's kind of fun. And that's what was on that box. So it's important not to make your zigzag too crazy zigzaggy. Keep it very simple. Mine are nice and wide. There isn't a lot of space in there, so what I think I'm just going to do is take my marker and just fill in with some dots, just to kind of fill in that space, because to me it just seems a little bit empty. And while I did those dots, I think I'm just going to take another block to keep another block simple and just do dots. You could do this right with your marker rather than pencil. And that fills in another block. Have you guys been wearing a lot of slippers like me? Some leggings and some slippers. So here's one of my slippers. I actually keep this one down in my studio for when my feet get cold. And I keep another pair upstairs. But there's a really neat diamond pattern on the top that I wanted to show you how to do. So I showed you how to do the plaid yesterday. This one is like a plaid because it's all straight lines, but it's on the diagonal. So I'm going to start in a corner, and I'm just going to draw some lines that all go on that same diagonal. See the diagonal? Then I'm going to go in the opposite direction, and I'm going to make more diagonals. And when I color this in, I could color each block in different colors if I wanted to. So there's my diamond pattern. Did you know that the bottom of most of your shoes have lots of really super cool patterns on them? Look at the bottom of my slipper. It's a very simple wavy line, but the way that they did it made it look like some cool shapes. Almost, it reminds me of the ocean for some reason. So I'm going to do that block, I think right next to my flowers here. So it is a wavy line, reminds me of the ocean, but instead of repeating it, I'm gonna do a mirror image of it, which means that I do the opposite of it. I'm going to do another, maybe go close, wavy line, because that pattern was nice and close, and then the opposite. And then the one more I think I can fit in, and then the opposite. And there's my wavy line pattern. Sometimes when I have things that are just a repeated line, it's fun to kind of add something in between to make them look a little different. So I think I'm just going to do some little dashed lines on every other one, just so that it looks a little different. You don't have to do this if you like the pattern the way it was, but it just gives it a little something to look at. The last patterns that I want to show you are things that you can make with letters and numbers. So my other daughter's name is Alexa. I bet some of you have an Alexa in your house, but I actually have a real live Alexa. And so she has an X in her name. So I could make a pattern out of just X's. I could use a number. I love the number 3. I don't know why. So a 3 is just a series of little lines. That kind of looks like an M because it's sideways. But when I do patterns with letters and numbers, sometimes I turn them in different directions so it looks more like a pattern. And I think I'm going to put some circles around that. That changes the design a little bit. And I think I'm just going to put little dashed lines in that pattern just to kind of complete it. And then I think over here I'm just going to repeat those little dashed lines. You don't have to create something completely and entirely new each time you do these patterns. They can just be simple patterns. I think on this one I'll just do some simple circles. And on this one I'm going to do a different kind of flower because I have flowers over there. It'll be kind of like a theme. So any kind of shape that you repeat makes a pattern. And I think I'm going to do some hearts over here. I'm going to kind of topsy-turvy them so they're all a little bit different. And let's see, I'm going to make a pattern out of the letter A. I'm going to turn my paper sideways because I don't want it to be the same direction as that. But it's going to be a little bit unique. I'm going to go from one corner to the other. There's 1A. I'm going to start right where I left off. And the idea here is use the letter for inspiration, but by putting it all the way across, it doesn't look like a letter A anymore, does it? It just looks like a pattern. And then maybe in the tops of these, I'm going to just fill it with some stripes. And that again kind of takes away from the fact that it was a letter, and now it's just a really unique design. Maybe down here I'll do circles, and here I'll just do repeated triangles. I'm going to do some zigzags, I think up here, maybe going in the opposite direction of that one. And I'm not going to fill them all in. I'm going to do some more polka dots up here. You don't have to, again, keep repeating or keep thinking of new ones. I can repeat things. Maybe some more of these just simple dots. And then maybe some more stripes to repeat that. And then my whole blanket is complete. So you're finished with this drawing. I am going to come back tomorrow because I do want to show you my painting tricks, especially when you have things that have a lot of detail. And I'm going to be using regular crayons, and I'm going to be using watercolor. So if you have those, you can bring those tomorrow and you can watch and lunch and learn with me then. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.